Okay. Pardon me one moment while I get the stream back up and running. I don't know why it disconnected me all of a sudden. And I'm going to make sure to record this as well. All right, can everybody hear me on our WebEx? Okay, so y'all can hear me, but I can't hear y'all right now. Let me get this fixed real quick. Never fails. Something's always, aha, I see what it's doing. I see what it's doing. There we go. WebEx was trying to put the sound out to the wrong speakers for me. All right. And so here we are, and we are back. I apologize for the inconvenience to our viewers. And hopefully this will be cooperating and staying with me like it needs to now. So I'm not sure when I got dropped, so I guess I'll be starting over. Thank you to everybody who has joined us, who's watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, and everybody who is watching remotely as well. We very much appreciate you and excuse me, your continued involvement with Southern Crescent. Today, this is going to be our clubs and activities kind of Q&A live stream and WebEx. We've sent out a link to all of our students and all of our club advisors for the WebEx meeting that we are live streaming here as well. So if any of our students watching, if you have any questions, you can throw those up in the chat on YouTube. You can send them as a comment on Facebook, and I will get those fielded as soon as possible. If you check your student email address, you will have a copy of the link into our virtual meeting so that you can call in with your own questions as you like. And we might have a little something special in store for the students that call in as well. So without further ado, I want to say thank you to the advisors that have joined us, and I'm sure we're going to have a few more advisors join us as the program continues this afternoon. Myself, I'm Joel Bishop, your Student Activities Coordinator, and I am joined today by Miss Janice Bush and Angelise Little of, if I remember correctly, Miss Angelise, you were with Cardiovascular too, am I correct? Perfect. Sorry, you know we all know this week's a whirlwind, to say the least. So Miss Bush and Miss Little are advisors for our Cardiovascular Student Association at Southern Crescent, and I apologize if I butchered the name a little bit there. Excuse me. I'm still learning a little bit and trying to make sure that I have names right. To be honest, my lack of strength with names is kind of what got me out of teaching. I'm also joined today by Mr. Gordon Carnes, our Phi Beta Lambda chapter advisor for Southern Crescent Technical College, as well as Mr. Nathan Bell, one of our National Technical Honor Society advisors for Southern Crescent Technical College. And I expect that we should have a few more joining us as we continue through the program. I know that also we've had some, due to the COVID-19 environment, we do have a handful of advisors who have had to step down from their positions or, excuse me, are not going to be able to assist with the clubs moving forward. So if any of our instructors, if any of our staff at Southern Crescent would be interested, the doors are open and we're going to be moving forward. Would any of the advisors on our WebEx care to say anything, say some words? I'm sorry, I'm being a hot air bag here. We need to I need to share my link again too. So, excuse me. Um, Without too much further ado, we do have a little bit of an echo coming. Okay. Um, we do have a little bit of an agenda to go over for this, and we're going to be very flexible with it. Oh, my music! I need to get my music back up to have a slight little bit of background going on. Excuse me. But of course, as we get started with this fall semester at Southern Crescent Technical College, uh, I know that I don't know what to expect, to be honest. And I know a lot of us are in that same boat. Um, we will be continuing. We do still have regular meetings planned for our clubs and organizations, and we do have activities still going on, um, albeit in a virtual or remote manner, moving through at least January of 2021, depending on how things develop and how things continue to go over the next few months. Pardon me. Um, so, with that being said, as this has kind of been our norm for activities and a lot of our programming with student activities since March, we will be continuing moving forward with this similar approach. We're going to have some events and programming that's going to be either over like Blackboard Collaborate or WebEx, like we have here, and a lot of it, as we can, we will live stream to Facebook and to YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you. If you're not watching on Facebook, make sure you go like us, SCTC Activities. And then if you are watching us on YouTube, make sure that you have subscribed. This because we are live on the Southern Crescent Technical College YouTube channel, and we will continue to be moving forward. Excuse me. Uh, so our club meetings are pretty much going to be held through WebEx or Blackboard Collaborate. I know, depending on the club, it's is going to be what we end up doing. I know that I can speak for Student Government Association, SkillsUSA, and Venatus that we will be meeting on WebEx. I believe NTHS may be doing Blackboard. And any of our other advisors present, if I know some of y'all, I've kind of discussed a little bit with some of our advisors, and I know that some were still trying to, like, excuse me, settle on what would be the best for your organizations. But if anybody would like to interject with uh, what method or what platform you will be using, um, please be my guest. Well, our club meetings cannot meet face to face at least through the rest of the calendar year. None of our club meetings are allowed to have face to face meetings currently. I apologize for that, but that's one of our current policies until further notice. Because, like I said, we will be doing virtual meetings, but our in person gatherings, unless something has changed, my current understanding is our in person gatherings are um, not happening at this time. And then, of course, a lot of our in person events and our travel is currently suspended until further notice. And the last update that I had was until January. And that's the most recent thing that I've heard until I get a little bit more information from above my pay grade. um, mhm, right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I actually, yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that because y'all are everybody is in that program, so I didn't even think about that. So I apologize, but that's just me making sure that I got my bases covered, and I apologize to mention that like midstream here, but yes, thank you. Um, Gordon, are y'all going to be using Blackboard? Gordon? Oh no. I just realized that I've been speaking this whole time and I didn't transition over to the screen. Sorry about that for everybody watching. Um, so, um, yes, so I know, and we are going to have, as soon as everything is pinned down and all of our club meetings are available, we'll be having those announced. Because I know that with some of our advisors um, in a transitioning state of involvement, um, we still have a few wrinkles to iron out that I'm working on as best as I can. Um, excuse me. Uh, so, moving along, um, all of our clubs and organizations, we will be doing our virtual meetings. And then also, since we do not have that typical since we will not be having that typical in-person interaction that we're used to day in and day out for a school year, um, I have set up, and I'll go over a little bit of detail about it a little later for each of our clubs and organizations. But I have set up some Google Classroom modules for each of our clubs and organizations, so that if you like, you can go in and use that as kind of like a discussion board outside of your meetings. I know that some of our clubs already do that in Blackboard, and by all means, I'm not. Feel free to continue doing so. I just set these up to kind of be some tools to help y'all out, and I'll be showing y'all a little bit more information about that a little later on. Catch my breath and pull up. So I will go ahead, and we do have a flyer, a pamphlet for our clubs. Um, once I get that pulled, or once I get that, I will have that on the screen here. Um, but if anybody, while I'm doing that, if y'all would like to, feel free to uh, take over and speak about your clubs and your organizations as best as as much as you like. And I'll be getting this flyer up and putting it on the back. I do have, and while I'm pulling up the pamphlet, I do have a question in the chat. Are we going to have basketball games? At this time, the basketball season is still planned, but they will not be starting competition until January. I think January 21st is our first available day that the National Junior College Athletic Association is allowing games to begin. But as we do get into basketball season, um, clubs will have clubs will once again have the opportunity to use those for fundraising through concessions and attendance if we are allowed to have fans present. Um, that is fundraising for basketball. I'll have that information out whenever I have a little bit more concrete information league wise. Because I know a lot of the attendance is going to be regulated by the National Junior College Athletic Association. So as I find out from them, I'll let y'all know as soon as I have stuff settled down. Um, Excuse me. I'll still try to find this pamphlet. But what, and I know that this isn't what exactly an answer for that, but in light of our clubs and or in light of our basketball season being pushed back, especially, and in light of trying to incorporate a little bit more remote and virtual programming for everybody, um, we will be, or at least I am planning to work with our Venatus Club to get a little bit of esport participation for the college, and I'll go over a little bit more information about that a little later on here as we continue through the program. So I'm going to change my screen real quick as soon as I remember which button I need to press for it. And that's what I want to do. We're going to share. What I'm pulling up now is our, once I can make it the active one. There we go. What I'm pulling up now is our club's brochure, which has been updated to incorporate, and I need to go in and add or change a little bit of information as well. I'm going to move our webcam stuff over to the top right corner so that I can get everything a little better visible. So here on the screen, my head's getting washed out into the background. What we have on the screen here is our club's brochure for Southern Crescent Technical College. And it has a little bit of information about each of our clubs that are currently active at Southern Crescent. And admittedly, a couple of these are a bit on standby while we recruit new advisors. But we do have, out of our present advisors, we do have our Cardiovascular Technology Student Organization. And that is open to, or rather, reading from the brochure, the Cardiovascular Technology Student Organization is the college's chapter of the Alliance of Cardiovascular Professionals. They exist to foster academic scholarship at the highest academic level and promote research and investigation in the field of cardiovascular technology. Eligible students to join this organization must be enrolled in the Cardiovascular Tech program at Southern Crescent as a full-time student. You must maintain a GPA of 2.5 or better, and that eligibility comes after being accepted into the program. Excuse me. For more information, I suggest contacting Miss Janice Bush, who's present in our meeting today, as well as Miss Angelise Little. And you can find them by email, janice.bush@sctech.edu, and Angelise Little, or angelise.little@sctech.edu, unless I'm mistaken. Excuse me. Oh. I apologize. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry for my confusion there. Question about Phi Beta Lambda. If we cannot attend the meetings because we're in clinical, how do we become a member at this school? Already a member from your old school. Mr. Carnes? That is a question that I would defer to Mr. Gordon Carnes. Miss Little is his mic's not working. Okay. Gordon, if you type, I'll happily dictate your response. We've had a few folks joining in on the conversation call. Thank you to everybody who has joined us. Full disclosure, I'm working with two computers here, so I have two mice on my desk. I keep getting the wrong one. Thank you to Southern Crescent Technical College. Um, Thanks, Joel, for heading up our clubs and activities. We're looking forward to a great fall semester. What about basketball? Uh, as a chat coming in from our YouTube, and I apologize if that's a chat that I missed for a few minutes ago. Um, but basketball, the plan is to have competition and to be competing. Um, okay. The plan is to have basketball competition but it will be beginning in January, as dictated by the league. Um, Circle K is an organization, going back to the brochure now. Circle K is an organization at Southern Crescent. It is a Kiwanis Club affiliated club, uh, and at this moment, it is kind of in standby. Mr. Wilhurst has had to step down as the advisor for that organization, so at the moment, we're looking for a new advisor. Um, excuse me. Um, And then similarly with that, I was recently contacted by Miss Brittany Varga. Um, we are kind of in transition with Rotaract as well. Miss Varga is having to step down as the advisor for that organization. But the SCTC Rotaract Club is a uh, Rotary sponsored student organization, providing students opportunities to enhance skills that will assist in personal and professional development while addressing the needs in our community. Excuse me. And Rotaract in the past has been very, very, very active in community service around the campus, on and off campus. Um, let's see. Uh, Going back up now that I've brought myself in a little circle on the brochure, we have our Respiratory Care Club, um, which is an excuse me, uh, an student organization, providing an opportunity for students of SCTC to grow academically and as a team. This organization is focused on providing healthcare to the community and increasing awareness of respiratory care careers. Those students who are in the respiratory care program are eligible for membership in the Respiratory Care Club. It's open to all, I'm about to restate the same thing with different words. um, the club does not require dues to be paid, and actually, most of our clubs do not require dues. And I have a little bit more information about that I'll expand on here in a few moments. Um, but I will also happily like to say that our Respiratory Care Club members that from the past year have been very active in the community as well in light of the. Uh, that's all good. Gordon, if you happen to be on campus and we do something like this again, just let me know. I might be able to get a mic for you. Um, but yeah, our Respiratory Care Club has been very, very active. And as soon as we went into, pandemic protocols in March, um, we had a bunch of our Respiratory Care Club students receive their certification and went straight to work into clinics to help out with everything going on. So I know that they've been really busy with that as well throughout the summer as we see COVID developments around us. So applause and kudos to them for doing fantastic work. Now I need a sip of water, so I apologize. National Technical Honor Society, which Mr. Nathan Bell on the call is one of our advisors for. I missed the opportunity to say thank you to Dalen, if I pronounced correctly. Thank you for the follow. Thank you everybody who's followed that I've missed. And thank you for that share on Facebook. My screen just showed me I had a share. I didn't quite see how big that share was or who that share was from. So thank you. National Technical Honor Society. The lead advisor is now going to be Miss Cheryl Burks, who is also our Director of Student Support Services at Southern Crescent Technical College. To be a member of National Technical Honor Society, All students in degree and diploma programs who maintain a cumulative academic grade point average of 3.75 or higher and a work ethic grade of 2.0 or better are eligible for membership. And invitations are distributed in the fall and spring semesters by NTHS advisors. And I know that we will be getting those invitations sent out here in the next month or so. Once we get those names pulled. SkillsUSA chapter at Southern Crescent Technical College. I will be the lead advisor of that organization moving forward. I'm trying to think because, and then also Mr. James Pease or Dr. James Pease. I apologize. I'm remembering, but Dr. Pease is also one of our advisors for SkillsUSA. And that organization, which I'll have a little bit of a reveal for them here in a moment too, is a national student organization serving technical and health occupation students. Students in this organization have the opportunity to participate in citizenship, leadership, employability, and professional skills trainings. And members have the opportunity to progress through local, regional, state, and national competitions associated with their program of study. And when they say associated with their program of study, SkillsUSA has so many different areas of competition that I'm going to be honest with you, I lose track of all the possibilities and all the contest areas that they have. Because I know that there's like probably more than a dozen medical competitions alone. And that's only just one facet of it. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. If you have any interest in SkillsUSA, all you got to do is talk to me and we will find a competition for you. At this moment, in light of COVID, I'm not quite sure what the schedule for state and national competition for this year will be looking like. But as soon as I have that information, I'll be happily sharing that with any of our club members and any interested students in that organization. Excuse me. Our Performing and Literary Arts Student Association is another one that is currently kind of in a standby mode. I was in conversations with Miss Martina Hayes about being an advisor for that organization right before COVID hit. Excuse me. So that may still be happening, or we may also, if any of our instructors or employees would be interested in assisting with Palasa, all you got to do is let me know. Pardon me. And I see that we have Miss Gail Daniel joining us here in our WebEx meeting. Miss Daniel, if you'd like to say a few words, you're more than welcome to. And Ms. Gale is our advisor, or she is our VA coordinator at Southern Crescent Technical College. She's also an advisor, the advisor for our Student Veterans of America Southern Crescent chapter. Ms. Gale, would you like to say anything? Okay. I don't mean to put anybody on the spot. I just want to make sure that if y'all want to say something, you get the opportunity. Yeah, I can hear you, Gordon. Uh-huh. Are you using a rock band mic? Hey, hey, that's like it's a microphone. It does the job. I appreciate it, and by all means, I I know firsthand how I've been fighting with technology all day getting this set up. So thank you. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Oh boy. Excuse me. Well, if you would like, mhm, yes. Mm. Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's perfect. And actually, that was perfect timing because I was just coming around to PBL on the brochure. So, not yet, but whew, that gave me a chance to breathe and let the voice rest for a second. So I appreciate that timing, Gordon. Thank you. So, and I'll also attest to that with PBL. It's a great opportunity, a great organization to be in. A couple of years ago, I had the fortune to travel with our PBL chapter to national conference or national competition and conference in Anaheim, California, um, where our very own Miriam Williams, who was the goal winner of that year, uh, placed first in the public speaking competition for PBL at the national level. Prepared speech and just the like from a professional side, some of the people that I met at that organization, like I never would have expected I would have been shaking hands with like board members of Taco Bell at a conference, but it happens. um, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Perfect, perfect. I very much appreciate that. Excuse me, and yes, by all means, Anybody? I know I just got an email from, excuse me, one of our students who's in here on the WebEx, I believe. Yeah, um, with some interest, and I will actually be touching on the very question that they emailed me here in a moment, and I'll read their question after I get through the rest of the brochure. Excuse me. So for Student Government Association, that is another one that I am our lead advisor for. Um, excuse me. Student Government Association is the organization that oversees how really all of our activities and programming that your student activity fee supports at Southern Crescent Technical College. Uh, and I realize that I'm kind of like blending into my background here on the stream. So thank y'all for everybody who's watching and bearing with me. And I feel like I'm making a fool of myself to some degree, but I hope you're entertained. um, but Student Government Association, that is the umbrella, that is the parent club for all of our clubs and organizations at Southern Crescent. Um, it really all of our students, everybody who's enrolled in a college credit course at Southern Crescent Technical College, the way I see it and the way I say it is you're already an SGA member. You just got to become an active SGA member. The Student Government Association allows students to become involved and be represented in the decision making process here at the college for all of our locations and campuses. Excuse me, hiccups. SJA additionally works to help plan the social and cultural activities as well as community service projects to enrich the culture and campus life at Southern Crescent Technical College. They are also the people that tell me whether or not I'm doing right by you, the students, because SGA oversees and keeps me in check with how your student activity fee is being spent. And of course, that activity fee goes to benefit all of our clubs and all of our organizations at Southern Crescent Technical College, and as well as the programming. And when we have to shift programming to virtual stuff such as this, the student activity fee is what we have available to make this kind of thing possible as well. Um, so Student Government Association, if you are interested at all in that, send me a message. And then also I have um, electronic membership forms for these clubs as well, for a couple of these clubs that I will be sending out as a link here in WebEx. And I will be attaching a link onto to all student emails for these as well in a little bit. Pardon me. Um, see where I lost my train of thought there for a second. Um, let's see. And then we have our Student Veterans of America SCTC chapter. And Miss Gail Daniel is the advisor for that organization. And I believe she said she had some mic issues going on. Miss Daniel is, or rather, the Student Veterans of America SCTC chapter is a member of the national organization whose mission is to provide all military veterans with the resources, support, and advocacy needed to succeed in and after college. SVA at Southern Crescent works to provide programming, fellowship, and mutual support to our veteran students here at the college. Membership is open to currently enrolled Southern Crescent students who have served in any branch of the United States military for at least 2 years, followed by honorable discharge. Excuse me. And SkillsUSA question from YouTube: is there a schedule for state and regional competitions planned yet? Not to my knowledge. I have since taking over, I have been on the listserv for SkillsUSA, Chris, and I have not yet gotten any dates from the state or national organization. And as soon as I have those, they will be available to the advisor or to all of our interested parties. Excuse me. And then, last but not least, which We also have, well, I haven't had the opportunity to incorporate this into the brochure yet, but we do have the Southern Crescent Film Guild or Cinema Guild, which is a student organization club organized from the film department, film technology department at Southern Crescent Technical College. Membership is open to students enrolled in the film tech program here at the college, and they became a newly approved organization at Southern Crescent at the end of February last year. Excuse me. And they were actually helping us out with some film screening events that we had going on at the college. And I've been in communications with our cinema guild and our film department to be involved with a couple of other programs that we have coming down the pipe that I will be talking about here a little bit later on. And then at the bottom of the brochure, last but not least, is our Venatus Gaming Club at Southern Crescent Technical College. And Venatus, which is literally the Latin word for game. Venatus is the Southern Crescent Technical College Gaming Club. They're dedicated to providing a safe environment to on campus and virtually, in light of current events, to all students who enjoy tabletop, console, PC, and role-playing games. Venatus's mission is to create a healthy environment to relieve student academic stress, increase creativity and productivity, and enhance social and leadership skills while promoting a positive image for gamers and gaming in general. Excuse me. And that is a club that I have been working on in particular, which we'll have a little bit more information later. But we're looking with Venatus moving forward into the fall semester to have some esport competition to get us out there and get some involvement. And I'll go into the esport information a little bit later on here. Excuse me. Message chat on YouTube. So Monday, do students come to the school? I do not have that information. It is my understanding that for the classes that have in-person elements to them, that those in-person meetings are going to be communicated by the individual instructors. If it's anything other than that, I am unfortunately not quite sure. So let me pull up here the applications. We do have electronic membership forms for Venatus, for Student Government Association, and for SkillsUSA, and I will be putting those on screen here in one moment. As far as practice with basketball, I do not know about basketball practices. That would be a question more. That would be a question for Coach Sinkfield. Excuse me. But I know. Let's see. I think what the National Junior College Athletic Association has in the COVID plan. I believe that official practices for the basketball teams begin in, I think, middle or late November. I believe middle to late November. Oop. That's not the browser I wanted. Oh, yeah, that is the browser I wanted. All right. So now if I can just get my, aha, that's what I want. My sharing screen is not working for me. All right. No. Okay, there we go. So, and this is just a look at it, or at our applications, or rather membership forms for these clubs. And these are just the ones that I have at the moment. Let me move this around so I can see and pull up this link. Nope, still the wrong one. I apologize for my user error. I don't have them on the website, but I'm about to drop. As I pull them up, I'm going to be putting the link to them here in our WebEx conversation. And I will be sending a link to all of these, of each of these, to all students once we get out of this program this afternoon. So first up is our SGA membership form. And this is just really, it'll get you on our mailing list. And that's how we will be getting information to you for our particular clubs. Okay. Basketball practice begins September 15th. This just in. Uh, check the news desk over here on the side. um, with these forms, just fill out the information for us so that we can have your contact information and we can have you on the roster. This will not be shared to anybody at all. I will only be using it for really to maintain a database. Excuse me. So, Student Government Association, we're going to be asking your name. We're going to ask for your address, of course. And that's especially now, since we do have prizes. The best way for me to get prizes out to y'all is to mail them. So if you win something, I got to know where to send it to. Phone number, because we might do a phone tree, program of study, enrollment status, program advisor, etc. In particular, with our Student Government Association form, when you go to fill that out, there will be a question: do you want to be considered as an SGA officer candidate? And I'll give y'all a lot more information about the SGA officer elections here in after I go over these membership forms. But we, due to COVID, it did throw a wrench in the election plan for our SGA officers for the 2020-2021 academic year. So as of today, with the start of the fall semester, nominations and self-nominations in particular for Student Government Association officers are now open. Excuse me, when you fill out your membership form, right here at the bottom, it'll say, do you want to be considered, and there's 2 pages, but at the bottom of the first page, do you want to be considered as an SGA officer candidate? If you say yes, that will tell me to check your availability and check your eligibility for that, and we will then, excuse me, if you're eligible, I'll let you know that you have been approved and you're on the ballot. If you're not eligible, I'll send you an email, but nothing will be stated publicly with that regard. Pardon me. So that is our Student Government Association, and I'll go over the election process for our officers here in a moment. With our SkillsUSA membership form, I will go ahead and put that one up next. If anybody watching, either live now or for video on demand later on, if you have been a member of SkillsUSA in the past, you will remember that there is I think it was a $15 membership fee to join SkillsUSA. In light of COVID-19, I have decided, or we have decided, because I did have to run the concept by my supervisor and a couple of other people, But it has been decided that for this current year, um, SkillsUSA will um, we will waive membership fees for SkillsUSA for this year. Um, but those membership dues will be waived for students who qualify. And when I say for students who qualify, those dues have to be paid in order to compete at the state or regional, state, or national level. Without having that membership dues paid, local chapter will pay for that for you. But without having those paid, you wouldn't be able to compete. So we have decided to waive that fee and cover it out of the SkillsUSA budget for the year. But in order to qualify for competition, you'll have to attend at least 2 meetings by January of 2021. And I'm seeing that I have a typo. No, we're not trying to get to the year 20,201. I'm not saying you have. I'm not saying 18,000 years to get those 2 meetings in. I apologize that I did not catch that typo sooner, and I am fixing it right now. But students who have not met that requirement for national registration will not be eligible to compete. So I do understand that with our virtual meetings that there are going to be some scheduling conflicts. So talk to me, work with me, because I'd be happy to work. I want to work with all of our students and especially make sure that you have the most opportunity as possible for this year to make the most out of your experience in this semester and this year, because don't nobody know what tomorrow's bringing in light of everything going on right now. And one thing that I want to make a note of with the SkillsUSA membership form, every field is required. I need to go fill out that. It didn't fix my primary campus option there. So by the time y'all get to this, it will be correct. But all the information that we are requesting on that form and on page 1 and page 2 is not. It was not formulated by Southern Crescent Technical College. It was not formulated by the local chapter here at Southern Crescent Technical College. It was. It's what we have to provide to the National SkillsUSA office when we submit your registration as a member. Excuse me. And full disclosure, a lot of this is to make sure SkillsUSA has, like, keep in mind, it is a lot of hands-on, and a lot of the competitions are working when competitions are able to happen traditionally. As a result, SkillsUSA has a lot of insurance coverage for all of the participants because construction, to say the least. And I say that to say that a lot of this information is stuff that they have to have for their insurance fulfillment. So please, if you are interested at all, fill that out. Oh yeah, and I forgot to share that link. But if you are interested at all in SkillsUSA, fill out the membership form, which for everybody in WebEx, I'm sending that right now. And you should be good to go. We'll have all those meeting dates published here as soon as I get it nice and pretty. And then the other membership form that I have ready to go is, well, WebEx, cooperate with me. I didn't want you to drop down like that. I talked to my computer. I apologize. Sorry, not sorry. And last but not least, Venedas Gaming Club. Well, that's true, and especially lately. Last but not least, we have our Venedas Gaming Club membership form, and I just dropped the link for that here. Sometimes they do answer back though. um, and once again, it's all about the same information, but it's each a different database. So we have to ask you if you want to participate in multiple clubs. Uh, at least with these three, if you want to participate in all three or two out of the three, I do have to ask you to fill out each one, just so I can have an accurate database. Um, and I love how I'm seeing now where I made made changes that it didn't save. So option 2 is no longer option 2, and it is correctly part-time on there. And in particular, the page 2 on the Venatus form, nothing is required on page 2 there. It is all an esports questionnaire, because we're looking in esports, and we're going to be seeing about getting some competition going here, at least for moving forward. Ultimately, I would like to pardon me. Ultimately, I would like to have at least one team competing if possible. Oh, and eventually get some equipment, but once again, that is on hold due to COVID. But we will be doing virtual and virtual competitions and virtual practices for the esports stuff for anybody who's interested and who participates, as we move forward. And so I'm going to go back, and the Google Classrooms, I want to just show that real quick to y'all. Let me get that pulled up here. And I'll show y'all the website or the web page first, and then did that go to the Google Classroom page on WebEx? Okay. It pulled up a new window here, so I wanted to make sure it was playing right. So in Google Classroom, and once again, for our clubs that already have Blackboard advisors, I'm not, by all means, don't let me change anything out from under your feet. I'm just letting you know that I've made this as an available tool for you to use if you would like. But here in Google Classrooms, I have set up modules for Medical Assisting Club, which I believe we just had an application go through before COVID. I don't think I received that back quite yet. Our Cardiovascular organization, our Cinema Guild, our Student Government Budget Committee, our General Student Government Association, Venatus, NTHS, Respiratory Care Club, Keen on Being Excellent, Rotaract, Student Veterans, PBL, Palasa, SkillsUSA, and Circle K. So each one has a module, and I'll go into student government real quick. And I just set this up, like I said, to be a discussion board whenever we have announcements or stuff, or if anybody need to talk about club business in between meetings. I wanted to put this out there as an option for you. I'll also, with the membership forms, I'll be attaching this Google Classroom document to the email that goes. And I believe now if y'all should be on my Word document, and everybody watching in WebEx, awesome. Got to confirm so I don't get too far ahead of myself. But I'll send this out to all students as well, with just a how-to, if you would like to enroll and join in these discussion pages that we have set up for our clubs. You just go to classroom.google.com, and then there's a little plus sign at the top of that page. So let me switch back over to that. And we go to our homepage, this little plus sign here. If you click on that, it'll give you the option to join class or create class. And when you join class, it'll pull up a window. It'll just ask you for a class code, and then you click join. At the end of the Word document, which it has everything step by step on how to join the class that I just went through, which is really, really simple. As you see, they changed the layout a little bit since I made this, but all the information stays the same. At the end of the document, I have each class code for every module set up, so all you have to do is copy and paste into that, and you can get enrolled. And once again, just for the sake of disclaimer and transparency, for any of our advisors who are with us now, or who are watching online, or who will be watching on demand after this has, after 4 o'clock today, by all means, don't feel like you have to use this. I just want to make sure that you're aware that this tool is available and it is out there for you. All right. Get myself a sip of water, and we'll go over to the officer information. So, with our virtual meetings, and with everything going through the fall semester, it has thrown a little bit of a wrench in the gears, and it's made us have to get a little bit creative with how we do things in some ways. So anybody who's interested, if you would like to be considered, if you would like to be on the ballot, considered to be on the ballot for SGA officer, just click yes at that question on the form, and your officer. Okay, where is that? I have everything in a nice little document, and it's not showing up for me. But in order to be an officer in SGA, you have to maintain a 2.5 GPA or better. You have to be enrolled for at least the next semester, the remainder of the year at Southern Crescent Technical College. You have to be in good standing with the college. And I'm trying to get this pulled up so that I can throw it on the stream. It would help if I spelled officer right, though, wouldn't it? There's only one E in there. That's crazy. It's like I had it, and it should have been there, but where'd it go? Officer. There we go. I was looking for the totally wrong name of a document. Excuse me. So, SGA, to be an SGA officer, there we go. Qualifications. Each executive leadership team member, which is our SGA officers, you're elected by a majority vote. You must have a cumulative GPA of 2.5 or better, be in good standing with the college, and you have to be a full-time enrolled student. The advisors, read myself and other advisors, can make exceptions on individual basis depending on depending on your situation. All positions are currently open. We do not have any. We don't have any current serving officers due to the way everything was going, because we just opened up nominations in the meeting that we had literally 3 days before everything came to a grinding halt. um, so, and we did have a couple of nominated candidates, but over the course of March and April, those candidates reached out to me and informed me that they would be unable to continue as and run for office. So here we are. Everything's wide open, and by all means, um, like everything for the year moving forward is going to be virtual. Um, so we're getting flexible, and then also with our SGA meetings in general, I'm kind of taking this as an opportunity. All of our campuses, all of our locations, our SGA in general will be having one meeting, one community meeting per month, um, virtually via WebEx. And those are still on the first Thursday of the month. But in light of the virtual plans, the times of those meetings has been shifted until to be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that is the current time. But I will say that they're like I've said a couple times already in this live stream and in this meeting so far. Um, Nothing like everything. We've got such a big question mark in a lot of places that, um, depending on feedback that we get from people, from our students, and from our students, um, I am more than willing and more than happy to see about adjusting for better times and make it fit schedules better. Some conversations that we had right, like in the months leading up to when everything started to uh, get into the world we know that we're in now. We were having some conversations with a few students, or rather with students at a few different events and in a few different programs, and the 3 o'clock time was mentioned by a lot of people. So that's what I decided that was going to be our jumping off point for now. um, and so anybody who fills out the SGA form, and has an interest in being an officer or running for an officer position at Southern Crescent in SGA, just click yes on that box. And if you click yes, I'll review your eligibility. If you're eligible, I'll give you the thumbs up. You'll be on the ballot. We'll invite y'all. Yeah, and we'll be happily talking about y'all a little bit in our meetings moving forward. We're going to send out, my plan is that by the end of the month, everybody who is an officer candidate, I'm going to put together a document. And whenever I reach out to our confirmed candidates, I'll ask y'all to send me like a selfie that you would want to have put with the ballot, and with our promotional materials. Because I am going to be putting out the candidate list in an all-student email and in some campus announcements as well. And I'm hoping to, over the next few weeks, build up with updates for all of our officer candidates, just to let you know how everything's going. Our first SGA meeting of the year is scheduled for September 3rd, which that one will be live streamed as well as WebExed. The first couple we're going to have on live stream, and then we're going to transition just to doing it over WebEx, I believe. But that'll, like, when we have that first meeting, that'll be an opportunity if you want to give like a statement of you as a candidate, or a quick little like 30-second to 60-second stunt speech. You'll have your opportunity to do that in the meeting. And then our SGA officer elections will be conducted between September 7th and September 18th. All students will be voting electronically. A ballot will be generated using Google Forms, and that ballot will be distributed to all students. I will take precautions to prevent duplicate votes. I will take precautions to ensure that only verified Southern Crescent students for this current term are voting as well. If we get any bogus votes that are going in there, I'll have my ways to get them out. And then on the 24th, the officer election results will be announced. We have a student activities live stream scheduled for that day, and that's when we're going to be making everything out. And then we have an SGA October meeting scheduled for October 1st, which is when we will be doing our virtual installation ceremony for those officers. Catch my breath. And just to mention, the officer positions that we have at Southern Crescent include but are not limited in is our and we have reporter historian, which this document does not have for some reason. I'll have to fix that. But we have president, vice president, our secretary, and treasurer duties are rolled into our secretary position in our SGA here, as well as our reporter historian as a combined office. We also have general student government officers, which I believe maybe looking into reviewing going through the fall semester. But for now, there will be SGA officers. They may end up, I may end up reclassifying depending on conversations and depending on how our SGA meetings go for the fall semester, but it might be a little bit more efficient to classify those general officers as like campus representatives, especially with us moving into one meeting across the board. If you sign up, if you are a candidate for an SGA officer position and you are on the ballot, you're not running for a particular position. You're just running to be an officer. And typically, the candidates that receive the eight candidates that receive the most votes will be identified as our officers, and then their position on the officer team will be determined by the SGA advisors following conversations or an interview with all of our newly elected officers. So that's SGA officer elections and nominations. Do we have any questions from anybody on watching the live stream or in our WebEx? I know y'all have been pretty good about putting the questions up there, and I'm hoping I'm doing a good job on answering them in stride, but this will give me a chance to breathe as well. And if we don't have any questions, that's fine. And then also just to reiterate, all of these club membership forms that I've shown y'all and all of the Google Classroom information, I'll send that out as an email to all students. Excuse me, once we get done with this program here. So moving forward, where's my cheat sheet? Activities for the fall. And I am working on getting a nice, pretty looking, a very pretty looking calendar chart so that you can print up or have easy access to as we get into the fall semester. But for now, I'll just go over some of them because also I'm still working on getting some of the stuff ironed down as well, if I'm being completely honest. Set that up there behind me. Excuse me. So we have our club meetings. SGA will be meeting on September 3rd. SkillsUSA's first meeting, or SGA will be meeting September 3rd at 3 p.m. And typically it's going to be first Thursday at 3 p.m. that these virtual meetings are held. And those meeting links will be sent out to all students. And same goes for SkillsUSA's meeting links. Their first meeting is scheduled for September 9th at 1 p.m. Um, and those are typically going to be the second Wednesday of each month, as best as the calendar allows us to make that happen. Um, we are for September. I know that we have had a couple of dates that we've discussed for it. Um, so once I have that, and once I have the subject of the event pinned down, I will have an official announcement. But we are looking into doing a social distance drive-in movie night here in Griffin for Southern Crescent students. Um, and the plan is to set up a drive-in movie there at the film technology program. Working with a vendor, we should have some concessions available, popcorn, drinks. I'm pretty sure we might even have some ice cream in there because we have a bit of, we have some ice cream credit rolled over from what we did this past summer as well. And we're also going to be rolling our voter registration project or voter registration drive into the movie night event as well. Excuse me. We have a couple of live stream events planned for September. We've talked about the caricatures, and I have in communications with the vendor for that. We did a couple of caricature live streams in the summer, which went really, really well. Which I might just I'm between we're kind of between going and doing the exact same thing or changing it up a little bit. Excuse me. September 15th is going to be the first meeting for the Venatus Gaming Club. They'll continue to meet virtually, and I have written that we're going to further investigate esports for the college, but we're going to be discussing getting active in esports there, and I've got a little bit more to cover on esports. Actually, after I go through these real quick, if anybody if you've been following on YouTube and following on Facebook, I've done a couple of quarantine. I did Quarantine Kitchen back in April and Tiger Bites in June or early July. I'm looking into continuing doing an occasional cooking demonstration live stream for Tiger Bites, and especially with Tiger Bites, I want to open it up for you, the student, to send me recipes that you like, and I'll go over those recipes and pick a few of them to demonstrate on stream. So if you want to go ahead and send some recipes to me, you can fill out the student activities contact form with your recipe, or you can email me directly, joel.bishop@sctech.edu. And then I also have let's see, what was it? I think activities, SCTech activities. Let me double check that email address before I say the wrong thing. All right, Outlook, cooperate. Yeah, it's activities@sctech.edu. So, yeah, if you would like to submit any recipes, go for it. Do it, because I'd love to cook y'all stuff. Let's see. And we have a couple of Instagram photo contests as well. We did it over the summer, and I have prizes for the students who have gotten the most likes. I'm just still waiting for my mailing materials so that I can pack them up and send them out to y'all. I apologize for the delay on that, but COVID shipping has gotten the better of me. From September 2nd through 16th, we're going to be having an Instagram and Facebook photo contest set to the theme of back to school. So we encourage students to post photos on your first day of class or during the first week. Early in the season. Getting your books, getting ready for school, and we're sharing them with the hashtag SCTC, hashtag back to school, hashtag Tiger Strong. And whenever we do these photo contests, whoever has received the most reacts, likes, etc. on Instagram and on Facebook will receive a prize from Student Activities. And we've got some coolers going out to our summertime winners, coolers, and a couple of backpacks going out there for the summer. Um, live stream cooking. Make sure SGA meeting for October will be October 1st. Venatus meeting will be October 6th. And SkillsUSA will be meeting on October 7th. Um, excuse me. For Instagram, Facebook photo contest, we're going to be going with a feeling spooky theme in October. Between October 12th and October 27th, we invite you to share photos of your like Halloween or autumn themed costumes or outfits with the hashtag TigerStrong, hashtag SCTC, and hashtag feeling spooky. Hey, Melly, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Everybody watching on Facebook and watching on YouTube, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And everybody watching video on demand, thank you. I apologize that my forehead is disappearing here. We have a bunch of activities planned, and I just am still kind of working out a lot of the details and a lot of the kinks for them. The past few years, we've had a Halloween spectacular at the Griffin campus, and I'm hoping to roll that into some kind of virtual event, and I'm still kind of brainstorming how that is going to be happening. In November, we will have our Georgia Fall Leadership Virtual Conference, which will be November 6th through 7th, or 6th through 8th, I believe, if I have the dates correct. Excuse me. It will be over the weekend. It will be virtual, so we'll be calling in, chatting in, video chatting in, and all that good stuff. I know I'll be presenting parliamentary training during the Fall Leadership Conference this year. And that's something that is open to all of our clubs and organizations at Southern Crescent to participate in. And then, of course, right before, in November, we're looking at another live stream for a cooking demonstration. So, as we get through the fall and you start getting up your Turkey Day recipes, send me some quick Turkey Day recipes, and those will be featured on our live stream. I'm hoping to do a couple of other live streams and I'm speaking with some local artists in the area to see about getting like an art demonstration or an art lesson on stream. Something that like maybe I'd really love to do something interactive, like get our own little Bob Ross style program going on here. Excuse me. And then the other thing to touch on for activities is, and I'm going to be putting this up here on the screen here in a moment, and we're going to share this with our WebEx meeting as well. But I have been mentioning a lot bit about esports, and there's a good reason to that. I'm excited because it's something that I've been working on over the past couple of months, doing the research and getting everything ready to go for us. But we, with Venatus at Southern Crescent Technical College, the organization, we're looking into getting involved with Play Versus, which is an esport league. They primarily are, historically, they've mostly been a high school esports organization, but in the past year, they have expanded into collegiate offerings. So let me get this over here and shared over. Play Versus is, what they do is they organize can't type. They organized competitive seasons and tournaments for esports, and in particular, they do have college competition. At the time, the college competition that they offer is Fortnite, but it is open to all of our students who at Southern Crescent Technical College. Anybody who's interested in doing esports, fill out the Venatus form, and we can get you involved. I was on a conference call with the collegiate director for Play Versus about a week and a half ago. And while they currently just have Fortnite set up for competition, they will be introducing two new games that will begin competing in the fall, and they haven't yet announced those. So I've been sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for them to make that announcement. Um, but uh, in particular, what I really like about this is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you, it doesn't cost the students to participate anything. And uh, I know that Fortnite as a game is polarizing to a lot of people. You either love it or you hate it, and that's totally fine. Um, but it's excuse me, it doesn't cost anything, and it's very, 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 very accessible. So anybody who's interested in participating, in Fortnite esports at Southern Crescent with the Venatus Club, um, it doesn't matter if you are playing on your PC, if you are playing on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. The good thing about Fortnite for that is that this game, it doesn't matter what system you're on, you can play with everybody else, and it doesn't matter what system you're using to log in and for competition, because you can be on your team playing from your computer, another one of your teammates can be on their Xbox, and another one of your teammates can be on a Switch, and that's totally fine. And it's totally covered by the Play Versus organization as well. There are a lot of colleges going on, and if a lot of colleges getting active and competing in there, and like they have some really, really awesome prize support for the students that they have, or for the stuff that they have coming up and down the pipe. To compete, everything is based off of a three-man team moving forward. So we just need to have three people on a team, or three-person team, pardon me. We just have to have three people on the team in order to compete. But the better part about it is that it doesn't matter. They don't, like, we are not limited to just having one squad of three or two squads of three. Like, so long as we can populate them, we can keep registering them. So I'm waiting with bated breath to find out what the next stuff that they're announced is going to be. But also, what I was hoping for, unfortunately, we weren't able to field some, but they have this summer showdown going on this weekend, and like they have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of prizes on the line. As far as like high-end gaming laptops, high-end smartwatches, uh, screen glasses. Gosh, I've been shopping for those myself lately. Headsets, keyboards. Like they have a lot. They have a lot of really neat stuff that are going in the prizes. And while this is just for one tournament, um, they do have some neat prize support for the seasons as well. Um, and if anybody's interested with Venatus, fill out that form, drop me an email, and I'll get you all that information. Um, and I'd even really love to, what I'd like to do and what I'm hoping to do is like to broadcast that and kind of help fill the gap for the delayed basketball season, give us some competition, give us some representation and competing with other colleges, and kind of, you know, give us a little something else to look forward to and to celebrate. Um, so that's just a little bit there about esport and Play Versus. And then moving on and catching my breath. I'll go back to the agenda. Our new student convocation, which I had the flyer for. I don't know where it went. My computer is running away and hiding stuff from me now. But our new student convocation will be a virtual event, just like this next week. We're going to be live from 12 noon until 3 o'clock. And this is open to all students. We have it tailored towards our new students because this is a time where we take to highlight and showcase our services that are available to students. Um, so make sure that you have followed us on Facebook or subscribed on YouTube so that you can be made aware when we do go live with that program. Are there any questions so far? Cool. And then the last big thing that I have on the agenda, give me one moment while I grab that. Gotta love some movie magic. All right. So, you might have heard through the grapevine. I know that our faculty and staff has been aware of it, and I have been. Darn it! I gotta grab one more thing. Sorry. There we are. So, in light of COVID-19 and being prepared and making sure that you, the students, are prepared, which just remember, we do have our, we do have face masks required, face coverings required on campus for any student who's coming on campus. But whether you are coming on campus for your classes or not, every student this fall semester will receive a care package. I just remembered that this is a white envelope and my screen behind me is white, so it's getting hidden by the camera. But you will receive an envelope like this. If you're on campus, if you have a class meeting on campus, we're doing our best to get those distributed physically to those classrooms. If you are not on campus, then it will be mailed out to you as soon as we have them all together. We just, once again, shipping delays are getting the better of me. But inside of this care package, you will receive 2 pouches, individually wrapped cloth face masks. And I have one already open that I will show, but it is machine washable, it is cotton, and it fits on my big old head, to say the least. But they are imprinted, and I actually really like it. This is mine. I have one out of the batch, and when they started coming in, people started really liking them, so I had to hide them. But these are provided by Student Government Association. The SGA Budget Committee for the last fiscal year approved of the purchase of these. So we have, and I have more coming too because I had to get a reprint because we have a lot of students enrolled for this semester. But it has our Southern Crescent Tigers logo on the face, and it just fits fairly well. If you know how big a head I have, and you see that this is really comfortable, or that I can wear this, and I will attest that it is fairly comfortable to wear for a mask. It is it's a good option, I feel like. It's easy to breathe through, and it's not like right up against your face. It is thin material, and as you can see there, multiple layers, thin material on the outside, and then a little bit of red material right in there. It gives you a nice little bit of breathing room too, and it's got a little bit of stretch to it as well. So you're going to be receiving 2 of these, and you will also be receiving a touch tool. which the name is misleading, but it is they call it a touch tool. It is more like a no touch tool. Um, you've probably seen ads on TV for something similar, and I'll put this up on in front of the camera real quick. I know you can't see all the details there, but it's got a neat little design to it, so that, and I have one out of the packaging right here, so that you can use it to uh, pull doors and turn doorknobs. You can use it to punch in a PIN code when you're at the gas pump, or if you have to go by the ATM or whatever. And it's got a nice little loop so that you can hook it on your finger and so that you can clip it on your key ring as well. I have been, performing quality control, making sure that it owns up. I've been using this one for the past, like, for the whole week. And it works really, really well. And I've gotten to where I don't step out of the office without it. It works great to open doors, turn the doorknob and pull the door or turn the door handle and pull the door. Or if it's just a swing door, it's good for pulling the door that way. I remember I got my camera cropped out a little bit. For a push door, it is acrylic, so it pushes okay. What I've been doing with it is I'll use it to turn the door handle and then kind of lean in with my elbow or with my shoulder to push the door. And then it works good for punching in PIN numbers. It even just demonstrates like lifting up a lid with it. And then of course, what I know I'm not the only one like this, but I'd rather break my arms and take 2 trips for the groceries. Handy dandy. The hook also works to hook your grocery bags on there, or at least a handful of grocery bags on there. At least that's what they advertise. I haven't tested that one yet. But for all of our students who are enrolled this fall, you're going to be receiving a care package, either in class if you're in person, or by mail as soon as we have our everybody verified and our mailing list verified. Hey, thanks for the like. I can't make out the name because my screen has it so tiny. But yeah, so all of these, courtesy of Student Government Association, making sure that we have do what we can to help provide PPE to our students and keep y'all safe as best as we can. So be on the lookout. Yeah, I lost count of how many of these I've packed, but we still have like 3,000 to go. Like every student, absolutely every student will be receiving one of these. So, but that's about the most that I have for today. If we have any questions, feel free to throw them at me. This is a great opportunity now. I'm gonna catch my breath a little bit. If anybody is on our WebEx meeting, or if anybody is watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, just let me know. Thank you for watching. If you have your questions, throw them out there, put them in chat, speak up in the WebEx meeting. For those students that have joined us in the WebEx meeting, after we get done with the program here, could you please just shoot me an email at joel.bishop@sctech.edu. I'll have a little something coming your way as well. So, any questions? All right. Will the care packages be delivered to the Henry campus? Once that is our plan, we're just I'm just holding off to get a copy of the in-person rosters. And so once we have those in-person rosters for each campus, we're going to be getting those sent out. and even the ones that are delivered and distributed, because we're going to have to ask if the instructors can help us with getting those distributed. But also when we do get those out to each of the campuses for the in-person classes, each of the envelopes will also be individually labeled for those classes. So that way, um, all you got to do is say, "All right, Jim, here you go. Alexa, there you are." So you'll won't even have to worry about keeping up with who has it. They'll just take the one with their name on it. And thank you for the question. And by all means, anybody else, if you have any questions, feel free. That's what I'm here for today. And if we don't, let me do a quick check here. If we have anything on Facebook that I can see, nothing on YouTube. We do. Oh, that's not the right one. Let me do one last Facebook check to see if I have maybe gotten any questions that I haven't missed or haven't seen. But I don't think so. I think we got everything, all of them seen here. But if we don't have any more questions, by all means, happily thank you to everyone who has joined me on WebEx, and everybody who is watching live on YouTube and on Facebook, and everybody who may be watching video on demand and made it through all of this. I know we had a couple of hiccups along the way with technology, but that is going to happen. But yeah, make sure that you have liked us on Facebook, you've subscribed on YouTube. We will be right back here next Thursday at 12 noon until 3 o'clock with our new student convocation. Until then, thank you everybody for your help. Thank you everybody for your participation, and thank you for watching. Until next time, have a fantastic afternoon. Have a great evening.